Namaskar. A very good afternoon to respected Professor A.K. Mishra, sir, Director, CSIR-CIMFR, guest of honors, Shri guest of honor, Shri Vikas Paliwal, sir, District Police Officer Dhanbad, Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. Sanjay Kumar, Chief Policy Advisor to Climate Parliament, and former Director General of Forests. Esteemed guest speaker, Professor Javed Iqbal from BIT Mishra, Dr. P.K. Banerjee, sir, outstanding scientist, heads of water resource management and natural resource management, all heads of the department, and their colleagues, seniors, heads of purchase, accounts, administration, all staff members, students, research fellows, members of the press, invited guests, guests from the industries, and everyone joining us in person and online. My seniors and peers, ladies and gentlemen. I, Dr. Pallavi Das, Senior Scientist, Department of Water Resource Management, CSIR-CIMFR, and one of the coordinators for today's program, feel extremely privileged to welcome all of you to the celebration of World Environment Day at CSIR-CIMFR. आप सभी का इस महत्वपूर्ण अवसर पर मैं हार्दिक स्वागत करती हूँ. Today, 5th June, we are celebrating the World Environment Day. ये एक ऐसा दिन है जो हमारे लिए सिर्फ एक सेलिब्रेशन ही नहीं है, बल्कि एक जिम्मेदारी का आह्वान है. This year's global theme, set by the United Nations Environment Program, is to beat plastic pollution. प्लास्टिक प्रदूषण आज के समय की सबसे गहरी और गंभीर environmental challenges में से एक है. It is not only visible on our roadsides and oceans, but also invisibly entering our food, our water, and even our bodies in the form of microplastics. The world is choking on plastic. We need to find solutions before it's too late, says Antonio Guterres, UN Secretary General. Be the change you wish to see in the world, says our father of the nation. So let us start the program by all of us taking a small pledge to beat plastic pollution and to take a pledge that will be controlling it in our own small way. आज के कार्यक्रम में हम एक प्रतिबद्ध संकल्प भी लेते हैं. I request our dignitaries, Dr. Sanjay Kumar sir, Shri Vikas Paliwal sir, Professor A.K. Mishra sir, and Professor Javed Iqbal sir, and also all the other dignitaries to proceed to the designated signing wall. We have a specially designed a small wall where we will start with your signatures and then all of us will sign so that we take a pledge to beat plastic pollution. Let us start today's program on that note. Ms. Shweta, she has the pens. May I please have a loud round of applause from the audience? ये एक छोटी सी लेकिन मायने रखने वाली कोशिश है जिसमें हम सब मिलकर प्लास्टिक के उपयोग को कम करना और अपने आसपास के पर्यावरण को बेहतर बनाने का मजबूत इरादा रखते हैं. Thank you, sirs. Let this declaration be a living document reflected in the way we conduct our research, our operations, and our daily lives. May I now request Dr. Siddharth Singh, sir, to accompany Director, sir, and all our esteemed guests to the dais. We do not inherit the earth from our ancestors. We borrow it from our children, says our native proverb. This year's global host, the Republic of Korea, has taken some commendable strides. And let their example be a clarion call for all of the world to act decisively. Today in the morning session, sir, we witnessed enthusiastic participation from students and researchers in essay writing, quiz competition, and poster presentations. मैं सभी participants को बधाई देती हूँ. We now proceed to the afternoon session. This afternoon, we are very privileged to hear from stalwarts in the field of environmental leadership and science. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our chief guest of honor, and distinguished speaker for today on the occasion of the Environment Day. May I now request our director, Professor A.K. Mishra, sir, to kindly welcome our chief guest of honor, and guest speaker by presenting them with a bouquet and a book as a token of our respect and appreciation. Our volunteers to bring the books, please. At first, to our chief guest. Ladies and gentlemen, a loud round of applause, please. Then to our guest of honor. No, the book. And finally, to Professor Javed Iqbal, sir. Can we have the book, please? May I now kindly invite Professor A.K. Mishra, sir, to deliver the welcome address. We will begin. All right. Sorry for my bad. We'll now begin by the auspicious lighting of the lamp as a usherer of brightness in all our lives and to dispel darkness. Thank you, everyone. I now request Professor Mishra, sir, for his welcome address.
Thank you very much, Dr. Palvi. Pleasant good afternoon to all of you, and very warm and hearty welcome. On the dais, chief guest of today's function, the most respected Dr. Sanjay Kumarji, former DG Forest, and a well-wisher for CSIR, as well as a guardian and protector for the environment. We are really honored that you agreed to our invitation, and you are here in spite of very extreme busy schedule. You have given us time, so we are really thankful to you, sir, for giving us time and being here with us on the occasion of the celebration of World Environment Day. And uh, it is our honor that you accepted us and you are with us, sir. Uh, Sri Paliwal Saab, DFO, and our distinguished speaker, Professor Iqbal Ahmed, uh, Dr. Siddharth, all other distinguished scientists, technical staff, research scholars, students, and friends from present media, as well as my fellow scientists and fellow friends from all regional centers and Digwadi campus, those who are connected online. Indeed, it is an honor and privilege, and I'm delighted to be here amongst you all to celebrate World Environment Day, being celebrated every year on 5th of June. And as you all know that since 1973, we are celebrating it across the world. And in India, at CSIR, at CSIR-CIMFR, we celebrate it every year. And this year, the theme being given is Beat Plastic Pollution. And why are we celebrating every year is known to everyone. This is to bring in awareness among the students, among the school, among college, university, community, society, the impact of pollution, which is being felt at climate change level. One is the climate change, which is being talked about, global warming, talked about at every forum. But other important aspect, probably which is missing, is your everyday life being impacted because of the pollution, because of the ecological imbalance, because of the degradation, because of degradation in biodiversity, because of degradation in forest cap, and so on and so forth. Very recently, some of the studies have been conducted wherein it came out that in India alone, we produce somewhere around 9.5 million tons of plastic waste. And every day, it is around 120 gram per person plastic being, waste plastic is being generated. This is about our country. Globally, its impact is more severe. And the toxic waste which are created is to the tune of 5.8 million tons. There are policy interventions which have gone into awareness among the society, among the citizens, among the people. And now the study says that the microplastic, which has gone into the water bodies, into the ocean water, into the marine life, into the air, water, air, and in the human body, in our bloods, the level of microplastic has risen up like anything. Microplastics being found in the cells of human brain has been reported. And the health care or the healthcare industry, healthcare research is being focused on fighting the microplastic, which is creating havoc on the healthcare of human being. That is one aspect. Apart from human being, its impact on the animals, on marine life is also severe. So this is the time when we all need to take a place and need to work towards resolving this. At CSIR level, already around 345 crores have been spent, have been allocated in the last 3 years on sustainability in terms of fighting plastic pollution. And very recently, I'm happy to share that a technology has been developed by one of our lab at IEP Dehradun, wherein the plastic can be converted to diesel, polyethylene and polypropylene can be converted to diesel, and 1 ton of plastic can be converted to 800 liters of diesel in 24 hours. So that's the technology which has come up, but its scaling up is in the process, and very soon probably we'll be in a position to scale it up and transfer it to various places, various industries, so that we can fight the plastic waste management. Apart from that, we have been hearing 3 Rs: reuse, recycle, reduce. But apart from this three, two more have been added on: refuse and rethink before usage. So I don't want to take much of the time. This is the time when we would like to hear it from our honorable chief guest. So I welcome you all, a very warm welcome to all of you. And I wish this program to be a great success. And I would request to all the students, all research scholars, please do kindly focus on fighting the plastic pollution. When probably the plastic would have been, the polymer would have been invented, the scientists would have gotten, the accolades and the kind of awards. But probably they could not imagine its impact, the consequences of plastic on human, on the planet Earth, on water, on air, on marine life. Probably that they might have never thought of. And right now, the global or the world is fighting and is trying to find out the solution. So when you do get involved in the research and do work in for solving a problem, you need to think in a long term, and you need to imagine that you, for solving one problem, you are not inviting a plethora of problems. So with these words, thank you very much, and Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir, for your enlightening words and for guiding us every day with your acumen and leadership. Now, I feel extremely privileged to introduce our first speaker, who's also the guest of honor for today, Shri Vikas Paliwal, sir, currently serving as the District Forest Officer in Dhanbad. Hailing from Rajasthan, Shri Paliwal is an alumnus of the prestigious IIT BHU, from where he completed his BTech. He is known for his keen commitment to forest conservation, wildlife protection, and community forestry initiatives in Jharkhand. He joined the Indian Forest Service in Jharkhand and currently serves as the District Forest Officer overseeing forest management. He previously has been involved in forest administrative roles as DFO in Sahibganj, among others. And some of the key achievements include playing a major role in environmental awareness programs, notably organizing events like the Ganga Utsav under the Namami Gange project, which promotes cleanliness and purity of the Ganga River and its banks. As a dedicated officer of the Indian Forest Service, Sri Paliwal combines technical excellence with ground level engagement, ensuring sustainable environmental governance in the region. So we would be glad to hear from you.
Thank you. On the auspicious occasion of World Environment Day, on the dais, on the dais, my mentor and guardian, I will say, Dr. Sanjay Kumar sir, ex BCCF Hof, DG and Special Secretary, Government of India, and currently Chairman of Task Force of Green Mining and Mineral Processing Center, Director CIMFR, Avint Kumar Mishra sir, scientists, other dignitaries, students, media, आप सभी को जोहार। जैसा कि अभी आई थिंक director sir has already brief about the significance of World Environment Day and what is its theme. So I think it is the appropriate time. We always celebrate 5th June as the World Environment Day, and you will see there are different themes which is being laid down by United Nations. It was started in 1972. I think Stockholm Conference was there. उसके बाद से जो है विश्व पर्यावरण दिवस चालू हुआ है. So I think it is the time we should all ponder upon कि what is the solution and how we take the steps forward. Because if you look, I think a few days back only, we had one more seminar here only about just transition and about sustainable development goals. So if you look at the government policy framework of India and even other nation at the global level, you will find if you look at the goals which is being set up by at the global level or even at the national level, you will see the most of the goals are green energy, increasing green cover, and you will see the shift in energy. So we are seeing everyone transition is being to done in green cover. We are seeing the term sustainable development. Sustainable development क्या है? The development which is more inclusive and which is for the better of people, tomorrow people, which are going to reap the fruits of today. So we have to do the development which is more inclusiveness, or which is more, I think, for the next generation. तो आप देखिएगा कि इस साल जैसे पॉल्यूशन है, बीट प्लास्टिक पॉल्यूशन इज द थीम ऑफ दिस, है ना. इससे पहले भी आप देखिएगा कि अलग अलग थीम आती है कि किस तरह पॉल्यूशन को, कभी आता है कि आप प्लास्टिक पॉल्यूशन है, देन वी हैव सीन दी एनर्जी मिक्स ऑल्सो, है ना, कि बहुत सारी थ्योरी की जाती है. देयर आर सो मेनी डिबेट्स बीइंग आई थिंक वर्किंग इन फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट, है ना. लोगों को वन ऑफ कोर्स वन ऑफ द सॉल्यूशन इज प्लांटेशन विच इज बीइंग डन ऑन लार्ज स्केल, है ना. मुझे लगता है इसकी अवेयरनेस बढ़ी है. बाय द टाइम पीपल आर मोर अवेयर एंड आई थिंक पीपल आर मोर कॉन्शियस टू डू प्लांटेशन. बट आई ऑलवेज से ठीक है, प्लांटेशन इज वन ऑफ द सॉल्यूशन, बट इफ यू वांट टू मेक द बेटर टुमारो, हमको बेटर टुमारो करना है, वी हैव टू वर्क इन ऑल फ्रंट्स. Especially जैसे कि just now director sir has told that there are various researches which are going on in the field of environment. For example, plastic, if you see, there are two things which you find everywhere. One is polythene, and other is water bottle. You go in any seminar or any event, कहीं भी चले जाइए आपको ये दो चीजें मिली जाएगी. इवन इफ यू गो टू बाय सम ग्रोसरी, फ्रूट, सब्जी लेने जाते हैं तो आपको वो एक प्लास्टिक का थैला दे देता है, हम लोग सब्जी लेकर आ जाते हैं, है ना. सो आई थिंक इट इज कलेक्टिव एफर्ट्स, वी ऑल हैव टू वर्क टुगेदर. तो इट इज नॉट द ऐसा नहीं गवर्नमेंट ने पॉलिसी बना दी कि सिंगल प्लास्टिक यूज इज बैन, है ना. इट ऑल वी ऑल हैव टू इनकलकेट दैट हैबिट. छोटी छोटी हैबिट है विच वी ऑल हैव टू इनकलकेट. फॉर एग्जांपल whenever we go to buy some grocery, आप सब्जी लेने जाते हैं, मुझे लगता है वो सब आदमी करते हैं, नेचुरल चीज है ना. तो हम लोग जूट बैग्स है विच इज जिसको सरकार बढ़ावा भी दे रही है, मुझे लगता है ना, तो वो कैरी कर रहे हैं. इट्स नॉट अबाउट ओनली अबाउट प्लास्टिक. आई थिंक ऑल थिंग्स आर रिलेटेड. फॉर एग्जाम्पल आप देखिए कि हम लोग ये भी पढ़ते हैं कि नेक्स्ट पीपल से कि नेक्स्ट क्राइसिस गोइंग टू बी वाटर क्राइसिस, एंड सम सिटीज आर फेसिंग वाटर क्राइसिस. इट इज ऑल आर रिलेटेड, है ना. वाटर क्राइसिस अपने आप में नहीं कि वाटर अलग से वाटर का क्राइसिस ही हो रहा है कि वहां पर वाटर की दिक्कत आ रही है. इट्स ऑल आर रिलेटेड, है ना. तो आप देखिए कि वाटर क्राइसिस हो गया या एनर्जी, आप छोटी छोटी चीजें देखिए कि हम वो जैसा भी डायरेक्टर सर ने बताया कि वी हैव टू चेंज अवर लाइफस्टाइल. वी सी सो मेनी टाइम्स कि ठीक है टैप चालू है, पानी गिर रहा है, या कोई रूम में बैठा नहीं है, पंखा चल रहा है, एसी चल रहा है, लाइट चल रही है ना. दी स्मॉल थिंग्स आर देयर, आई थिंक विच वी ऑल एज एन इंडिविजुअल कैपेसिटी वी कैन कंट्रीब्यूट एंड सेव एनर्जी, सेव वाटर, है ना. ऑफ कोर्स बाय नॉट यूजिंग द सिंगल यूज प्लास्टिक we can contribute our towards the protection of environment. दूसरी चीज आप देखिएगा, since I got the privilege of working in साहिबगंज also, तो आप देखिएगा कि जैसा बताया गया है कि प्लास्टिक का इफेक्ट सिर्फ ह्यूमन में नहीं, वाइल्ड लाइफ पर भी वी कैन सी द इफेक्ट्स ऑफ प्लास्टिक क्लियरली, है ना. फॉर एग्जाम्पल इफ यू सी दी गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया हैज लॉन्च द प्रोजेक्ट डॉल्फिन फ्यू इयर्स बैक ओनली, एंड उसका इम्पैक्ट बड़ा अच्छा आया है. वी हैव सीन द इंक्रीज इन पॉपुलेशन ऑफ डॉल्फिन. सो आप देखिएगा कि वन ऑफ द रीजन वाज द प्रोजेक्ट वाज लॉन्च्ड, और आप देखिए कि पॉपुलेशन जो डॉल्फिन की या कोई भी वाइल्ड लाइफ मरीन लाइफ की ड्विंडल हो रही थी, रीजन वाज प्लास्टिक पॉल्यूशन. कि आप जो भी प्लास्टिक करते हैं एट द एंड ऑफ द दैट वो जाके घूम फिर के वो ओशन या किसी नाले में ही डंप हो जाता है. तो वो जाके घूम फिर के वहीं जाता है, फिर वाइल्ड लाइफ या तो उसको खा जाती है या फिर उसके जो है इकोसिस्टम को वो डिस्टर्ब करता है. बट सिंस वी स्टार्टेड वर्किंग ऑन दैट प्रोजेक्ट, आप देखिए कि उसका इफेक्ट बड़ा ही पॉजिटिव आया है. एंड डॉल्फिन इज आल्सो नोन एज द इंडिकेटर कि वाटर कितना प्यूरिफाई है कि नहीं है, चीजों प्यूरिटी ऑफ द रिवर थिंग. जो हम वेरियस इवेंट्स मनाते हैं, है ना, वर्ल्ड एनवायरनमेंट डे, वी सेलिब्रेट सो मेनी इवेंट्स. आई थिंक द मेन outcome or thing, main contribution we should do is that we should contribute from our side. हाँ, कि हम लोग ऐसा नहीं कि यहाँ पर सुने, जैसे मैंने बताया कि हर चीज को छोटा छोटा आपको अपनी अपनी डेली लाइफस्टाइल में उसको चेंज लाना पड़ेगा चीजों को. बिकॉज वी आर वर्किंग, हमको डेवलपमेंट भी करना है. भी जैसे उन्होंने कहा कि अब इट्स लोग कहते हैं कि ठीक है कोई पेड़ करते हैं ये है, बट देखो हर चीज की एक सस्टेनेबिलिटी जरूरी है ना. अब पेड़ क्यों करते हैं आप देखेंगे, फॉर एग्जांपल इफ आई बीइंग इन धनबाद आई सी कि यहाँ पर बहुत कंप्लेन आती है पेड़ करते हैं. तो देखो सबका रिलेशन है. पेड़ करते हैं बिकॉज दे रिक्वायर कोल. कोल क्यों चाहिए, कोल का प्रोडक्शन बिकॉज दे रिक्वायर कंजम्पशन ऑफ एनर्जी, है ना. कोल प्रोडक्शन का टारगेट बढ़ जाता है बिकॉज एनर्जी रिक्वायरमेंट बढ़ जाती है, एनर्जी रिक्वायरमेंट बढ़ती है तो कोल बढ़ता है, और कोल बढ़ता है तो ऑफकोर्सली ट्रीज आर देयर तो उसको काटना पड़ता है. ऑफकोर्सली उसकी जगह पर रिफॉरेस्टेशन किया जाता है. बट again the work is being done on how to move more towards the I think green mining या फिर more sustainable mining. But at the end of the day I think ये हम सबकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है कि जो हम लोगों का जो एफर्ट्स है, रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है एज अ रिस्पॉन्स सिटीजन, वी शुड डू एंड वी शुड मोटिवेट अदर्स अपने फील्ड में जो भी है, कि जो भी हमारा लिटिल बिट्स हो सकता है to undo the effects of pollution, है ना. इन्वायरमेंट को जो कंट्रीब्यूट कर सकते हैं वी शुड कंट्रीब्यूट, एंड ऑफ कोर्सली जितना भी आपका हो सके वी शुड डू मोर एंड मोर प्लांटेशन. जो भी आपका हो, आई थिंक जो भी आप पेड़ लगाते हैं, चाहे आपका आप अपने बर्थडे पे लगा दीजिए, आपके एनिवर्सरी पे लगा दीजिए, या अपने मदर फादर्स के उसमें लगा दीजिए, याद में लगा दीजिए. देयर सो मेनी रीजंस, है ना. इट इज आल्सो गुड थिंग, एंड आई थिंक मोर एंड मोर पीपल आर बीइंग डूइंग दिस. With these words, I will hope we all will contribute towards the better tomorrow, and we all pledge that we will try to minimize the use of plastic. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your thoughts and for explaining lucidly how small changes will go a long way in inculcating good habits, which will usher a big change. अभी अभी प्रोग्राम को आगे बढ़ाते हुए it's We'll now listen to Professor Javed Iqbal, and then, of course, we'll save the best bit for the end. And as is customary, the chief guest will speak at the end. So now I feel extremely privileged to honor our guest speaker, the Professor Javed Iqbal from the Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering at BIT Mesra. His primary research interests include water and wastewater optimization, as well as air pollution modeling and monitoring. He has authored a large number of research articles in peer-reviewed journals and has presented his research findings in several national and international conferences, including a lot of best paper awards. He's also guided PhD students and a large number of MTech and BTech dissertations. And he's also an investigator in several major government funded research projects, including the NCAP Working Group 3, Ministry of Environment Forest, Pit Lake Sustainability Project, Groundwater Mapping Project for Rachi, to name a few. And he's also the implementing officer of the National Clean Air Program from the city of Jamshedpur under the Central Pollution Control Board. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join your hands to welcome our guest speaker for today, Professor Javed Iqbal. So, please.
Thank you, Dr. Pallavi. Thank you. Good afternoon, all. Professor Arvind Kumar Mishra, Director, and Dr. Sanjay Kumar, former DG Forest, Dr. Shri Paliwal, sir, and Dr. Siddharth, sir. I'm very thankful to CIMFR for offering me this opportunity to talk among all these scientific community, the researchers, and talk about this problem which is faced by us in all the aspects, that is all the corners of the problem. Now, while we are talking about this plastic pollution, let us have some data before talking about these or combating from this problem. We should have knowledge about the problem or understanding about the problem. So what is the problem? So if we see a data given or released by the US EPA, we are able to see that the amount of the plastic waste generated has increased, though the percentage has decreased. Means the rate at which the plastic waste is generated is much higher, and we are not able to reduce the quantity. So next, coming to this slide, so what we are able to see that worldwide we are producing around 350 million tons of plastic waste, and out of which 1 to 2 million tons is going to the oceans and seas. Means they are entering into our water systems or aquatic systems, and they are also becoming the part of the sediments. And in India, around 9.3 million tons of this plastic waste is generated, which is a data released by Down to Earth. And the different components of the plastic waste are there, which are fractioned, and that is analyzed and fractioned and has been stated. So we'll have a look on this. Why this plastic? Why we have been dependent on plastic, and even the cloth we are wearing, it's a part of this. Means the plastic is there, like elastane. Because of the properties it holds. Means we need a jeans or shirt or the sports wears which are stretchable, which can help us to do the running, athletics was, etc. So everything what we are using daily, like sir also talked, the polythene bags or the water bottles is there. That's why we are dependent on these plastics, and the plastic has become the most important resource of our day-to-day life. But this is not the problem that the plastics are having or damaging our environment, including soil, water, and air. The problem is also with the additives, because we are not only talking about the plain plastic. We need the features, है ना? Luster, texture, color. We want to change it, or it can withhold the cold water, hot water. It can be used against the uh, uh, electricity, means it is a bad conductor. So we add some additives, and these additives are actually some agents which are hazardous or sometimes only toxic. So not going into that detail. So we understand these plastics by numbers, which is often mentioned in the plastic wares. That is, all these symbols are there. So what we are doing, like we are using this one type of plastic, which is PET plastic. So what is the solution? If we are talking about beat the plastic pollution. So of course, this one number is our drinking bottle, the beverages we are having, all this consuming and throwing anywhere or at least in dustbin. So we have to think about it. That is, as Sir told earlier also, that we have to think to refuse it or reuse it or recycle it, and again rethink it. What is the alternative to all these things? Like earlier, we had these glass bottles. We used to consume these beverages in glass bottles, but right now we are having all these in plastic bottles. So actually, we have jumped into it. It is a suicidal mode. All these high density polyethylenes, that is, we are using. So what is the alternatives? Can we reuse it, or generating 350 million tons of plastics? So we have to think about the alternatives. All these curtains, pipes, fittings, etc., are your type 3 plastics, PVCs. And we have removed these stainless steels or GI pipes, and we have switched to this. And to withhold the high pressure and to overcome the bacterial infections or biological agents, we are adding the additives, and our safe drinking water is coming through all these PVC pipes. So we have to think about it, and we have to find the solution, and we have to act on it. LDPE widely used, the carry bags, that the solution has been already said by the Director Sir and the Paliwal Sir, that we have to think about the alternatives. Really, we have to act on it. It is not that just outside the room, it is all done. We have to think about and we have to act actually. All these polypropylenes, that is, we are using all these containers because it allows to withhold the food in good condition. It doesn't allow it to uh, degrade. So as well as these reusable water bottles, clothes, diapers, etc., are part of our life that we have been using, and that can be reused because the additives used are not toxic, and that can be actually helpful. Now these polystyrelenes, that nowadays we are having fashion that we are using these disposable plates, glass, and all these capillaries. So they are basically made up of these plastics. And to have all these qualities, we are adding the additives. That I will come to show you some data later on, that how it is actually adversely affecting us. So Seventh one is other type of plastics. So it may contain the BPA, or it may be uh, uh, ba- biodegradable plastics, that is LPA. That this LPA can be sent to the compost facilities, but there is a problem with this LPA also. That the rate of degradation of these organic matters are not same, or these actually LPA degrades, sorry, PLA degrades slowly. So there is a problem of toxicity if it is taken up by the plant. So research is going on this, and a lot of alternative plastics or biodegradable plastics are in use. So we are throwing or generating the waste, and they are having of different types. Now they have entered into the drinking water. That is, we are throwing it, there is a rain, there is an infiltration, it is entering into the groundwater, and it has been established that these microplastics or these fine or tiny particles are present in our groundwater. It is already present in our surface water, streams, oceans, seas. And we have also learned that most of the water bodies are, if I'm using the correct word, is not polluted, it is contaminated with these microplastics. Because while we are using or drinking this water, although it is passing through the several stages of treatment, they are inefficient to remove these micro size of plastics or tiny plastics, which may be from the primary origin or the secondary origins. So this is already present, and it is affecting all the aquatic lives, that is flora, fauna. And once it enters into any compartment of the environment, as we know, as a student of the environment, that it is having the ability, since it is persistent in nature, to enter into our food chain and magnify at each level. So the humans who are consuming all these foods, whether they are veg or non-veg, we are actually accumulating a lot of micro and nanoplastics in our body, as Sir also mentioned in his inaugural speech, that these are also found in human blood, organs, and even in placenta. The baby who is already who has not born yet is having this microplastic. It is because of our act. So is it sustainable? Because what we are saying, that sustainable technologies or sustainable development. So is it sustainable? You have to answer yourself. Oh, so there are a lot of advertisements in televisions. Fair and glow, fair and lovely, and shiny teeth. And I must have seen it in television, YouTubes. So where it is coming? So actually, what we have done, we have lost our traditional values. Means earlier we used all these alternative like this charcoal and a mustard oil, salt, soda. We have stopped using all this. What we are using? Colgate, Close Up, like all this toothpaste. I'm taking a few names, not a specific one. So they are having these brighteners or cosmetics products which gives us glow. So they are having these beads which are actually of size of less than 1 millimeter, which is actually size of microplastics. So where it is going? It is going to the wastewater. Our wastewater systems or treatment schemes are not sufficient enough to remove these microplastics which has entered into the wastewater, and through the streams it is entering to the high seas, oceans. That is, again, we have reached to there where we have left, that oceans with flora, fish, everybody is actually affected, and even the birds which are feeding the fishes are having the microplastics in their gametes, and it is there in blood and all. So they are having also a tendency, even we have found in our research that there are actually active sites in these microplastics when they undergo the degradation, that they can actually adhere the other particles, metals, toxicants, or other xenobiotics compounds, although it is a xenobiotic compounds, which are toxic or even hazardous. What is the advantage of these regulations? So many of the cosmetics and the consumer goods producers like L'Oreal, Procter and Gamble, Unilever, they have stopped use of these microplastics, that is the this plastic waste. And after 2011, when these plastic waste management rule came into force in India, we are having several amendments till 25 itself that actually stops or brings the new changes as per the requirement. For example, we have started with 40 microns of single-use plastic like polythene bags. Nowadays, it is 120 microns. So on, there is a lot of limitation or changes which has been incorporated or introduced into these amendments to make it more powerful. Because what is the purpose of bringing this plastic waste management rule? It is very simple that we have been actually adversely affected and it has been present or it is everywhere it is. So we are facing the problem because of this. So these plastic waste management rules are very helpful in combating with these plastics and we need to follow it. Actually, if you are not following it, like if it is window dressing, then it will not help us. Means we are also party to this. If we are not abiding it, means if we'll see the IPC, Indian Penal Code, means it shall be duty of every citizen that if you are not abiding it, means we are actually somewhere wrong. So there is a small step actually we can do that. There is a app you can download and scan the product and can check whether these products are having these uh, microplastics or not, and you can actually deny it. No, I don't need it because you know the impacts and all. So now coming to the air that actually we carried out this research in our lab, and my MTech student was uh, the person who carried out this research. So we selected Ranchi as a study area, and we collected the indoor air using the personal air sampler and outdoor air using the specification air sampling systems. And the sample was carried out for the month of post monsoon and monsoon. And you can see that November and December of 22 and winter of January, February of 23. These 2 months winter and 2 months post monsoon. These samples were carried using the filter papers, that is the PTFE and quartz filter paper. And later on, it was also analyzed whether is there any role of these mass meteorology, means the wind which is coming, the temperature and the humidity precipitation are playing any role uh, in contributing this microplastic into our region. So we carried out these studies as well as we also checked whether which meteorological parameters like the precipitation, humidity, wind direction, and wind speed is responsible for the higher concentration of this microplastic into the air using PCA, principal component analysis. What we found actually that is alarming. That's why it is said that these microplastics are now airborne. Means if we are here, we are inhaling microplastics. And since we are having the technologies or the machines which can measure it or quantify it as well as we can identify it. That's why we are able to say, even in a nano scale. Otherwise, what we will say that it is not there or it is below detectable levels. So in indoor air, the concentrations or these quantifications of these microplastics were 87 numbers, or in winter it is 108 particles per day. Post monsoon in outdoor airs, this PM10 was 23 and PM2.5 was 28 particles per day. So this during the winter times, the concentration of these microplastics or their numbers were more because of the size of the microplastics. That is, the size was lower than the size found during the post monsoon, and also the wind conditions or the meteorological conditions were affecting these concentrations. And as well, the deposition rate of these microplastics in PM10 filter paper and this PM2.5 filter paper was quite high, because we were using this high volume air samplers for PM10 and this specific special air sampling systems for PM2.5. So we found that the concentration of these PM2.5 was around 12,104, that is plus standard deviation to 13,833 plus standard deviation particles per meter square per day of the filter area, because we have considered the filter area whatever the air is coming to the uh, sampler. During the winter time, similarly, we found 689 plus minus SD particles per meter square per day of filter size, and PM2.5. The particles or number of particles was 19,789 plus minus standard deviation and 30,087 plus minus standard deviation particles. So the concentration of these microplastics in PTFE filter paper was higher than the quartz filter paper. And in indoor air during the post-monsoon, this particle per meter square was found to be 81,730 plus minus standard deviations, and during winter 98,717 particles. So this is the situation. What we are thinking that what we are doing is actually nothing. But we are here right now. We are in indoor air, and these microplastics are here. It's very simple. That put a portable air samplers and sample it and analyze it in lab. So you'll come to know that if you're sitting here, you're spending how much time, how many particles you may have breath at the rate of 0.5 lpm. So color and size wise, if we'll say that the fibers were dominated, then the fragments, and then the films. Fibers concentration was highest, and the color of these fibers were white, which was dominant among all the fibers, and thereafter blue, black, red, orange, green, and purple. In fragments, primarily we found black and orange color, and in outdoor atmosphere, these microplastics are fibers, fragments, and then films, which is also found by the others. This is the some image of these stereo zoom microscope with which we actually identified the color of the microplastics, their shape, and their type. That is the filament and fiber, uh, fragment, and films. And in the second image, which was actually used to identify the polymers, is of FTIR. So I'm directly coming to the findings that what we found actually was this fibers and fragments, and the outdoor air contains polyethylene, polypropylene, and polystyrenes as high, and thereafter PVC also. And in post monsoons, in indoor air, we found these PS PVC, similar peaks were found for the winter seasons. That is what is the highest concentrations or the dominant type of microplastics are P polyethylene, polypropylene, and polystyrenes, and also PVCs, polyvinyl chlorides. The high split model suggested that the particles are actually also carried away from far away the distances, even at higher altitudes of 3,500, like we are having the data. For example, the northwest winds brings fine particles because we are actually analyzing the particles uh, suspended into the air. So what we are actually measuring is your. So it is not within the India, even far away countries like Pakistan, Iran, Turkestan, African countries also contributing these fine particles which may have the microplastics. So conclusions are same that there is a presence of fibers, fragments, and films, and fiber or fragments are of PS, PE, PVC, and PP. And presence of all these microplastics or segments of the microplastic, that is this PS, PVC, PP, may have adverse health effects. And presence elemental mapping reveals that the presence of some metals uh, denotes that the additives used are causing or actually elevating the levels of these metals or heavy metals. So I will conclude my talk over here because of the constraint of time. And I hope that it would be helpful to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for educating all of us from the very fundamentals to the policy to the applications of microplastics. Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have a loud round of applause? Now, as we move to the most eagerly awaited lecture for today. So, as is customary and protocol in CIMFR, sir, we always have the chief guest as the last speaker. So, before I start the introduction, um, a very powerful quote by Dr. Lucy Larson comes to my mind. He who plants tree also plants a hope. Sanjay Kumar, sir, with your leadership and guidance, you have planted hopes for a better tomorrow in all of us. Thank you so much, sir. And it is my absolute honor to introduce our chief guest, Dr. Sanjay Kumar, a distinguished environmental leader and policy expert. Dr. Sanjay Kumar is currently serving as the Chief Policy Advisor to Climate Parliament, a global network promoting clean energy legislation. He is also is the chairperson of the National Green Mining and Mineral Processing Task Force and has held several prestigious roles in government and international organizations. He is the former Director General of Forests and Special Secretary to Government of India and has served as Principal Chief Conservator of Forest Jharkhand, Executive Director of Climate Parliament in the United Kingdom, and as Deputy Inspector General at the Ministry of Environment and Forest. Dr. Kumar has earned his PhD from the University of Cambridge, specializing in poverty and rural livelihoods, and he also holds MPhil in public administration from the Punjab University. Dr. Kumar's deep engagement in climate policy, renewable energy transition, forest conservation, and sustainable development has left a lasting impact on national and international platforms. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our chief guest, Dr. Sanjay Kumar, sir. So please, we are eagerly waiting for your lecture.
थैंक यू पल्लवी। पहले तो तुम बैठ जाओ, इतनी देर से खड़ी हो, आप प्लीज बैठ जाओ। अब पल्लवी ने तो मेरा बड़ा बड़ा परिचय दे दिया, लेकिन ये नहीं बताया कि मैं झारखंड का ही रहने वाला हूं और रांची में ही मेरी शिक्षा दीक्षा हुई है। और आज मैं सबसे बड़ा धन्यवाद जो है वो मिश्रा जी का करने वाला हूं, जो कि न केवल बहुत ही सौम्य व्यक्तित्व के मालिक हैं, इतने प्रेस्टिजियस इंस्टीट्यूट के डायरेक्टर होकर के और इतने कर्टियस होना, इतने बड़े साइंटिस्ट होकर करके इतने डाउन टू अर्थ प्ले करना एक बहुत बड़ी बात होती है। लेकिन मिश्रा जी, मैं आपको बहुत धन्यवाद इसलिए भी देना चाहूंगा कि यद्यपि मैंने बताया कि मैं झारखंड का ही रहने वाला हूं और मैं झारखंड काडर का भी हूं, लेकिन धनबाद नहीं आने का अपने पूरे जीवन काल में जो जिंक्स है वो आपने आज तोड़ दिया। धनबाद आने का मुझे बहुत मन था पहले से, आज से नहीं। आप लोग जो यंगस्टर्स हैं उनको शायद पता नहीं होगा, लेकिन जो थोड़े एल्डरली हैं उनको पता होगा कि एक बहुत 1979 वगैरह के आसपास एक मूवी आई थी, काला पत्थर। बड़ी फेमस मूवी थी, अमिताभ बच्चन, शत्रुघ्न सिन्हा वगैरह वगैरह। और उसके बाद तो कई मूवीज आ गई धनबाद के ऊपर में, विभिन्न विषयों पर, मिशन रानीगंज और इवन गैंग्स ऑफ वासेपुर वगैरह जो है, अलग अलग विषयों पर। लेकिन काला पत्थर जो था उसमें प्रभावित होने वाली ये चीज थी कि उसमें एक हीरो जो है ना, वो डिजास्टर से लोगों को बचाने के लिए आ रहा। और जब मिश्रा जी ने मुझे बुलाया यहाँ पर तो लगा कि शायद वो मुझे वो हीरो तो नहीं बना रहे। तो खैर, ये वंस अगेन आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। और न केवल उसके लिए बुलाने के लिए, बल्कि आप जैसे विज्ञ जनों के बीच में हमारे जो डायस पे बैठे हैं सभी लोग, हमारे साथी विकास, जावेद, मुखर्जी साहब, आप सभी लोग, आज सुबह में मिश्रा जी ने मुझे इंस्टीट्यूट का भ्रमण जो कराया और मुझे देख कर करके बहुत ही अच्छा लगा कि हमारे साइंटिफिक इंस्टीट्यूशंस नए तरीकों की जो चीजें हैं और विश्व में अग्रणी रहने की जो प्रतिस्पर्धा है उसमें पूरी तरह सक्षम है। और यह देख करके मुझे बहुत ही विश्वास हुआ कि आज जिस विषय के लिए हम लोग इकट्ठा हुए हैं यहाँ पे, जो बीटिंग प्लास्टिक पोल्यूशन, और हमारे सभी साथियों ने जो जिस गंभीर प्रभावों की जो चर्चा की प्लास्टिक की, मतलब सुन करके डर लग जाता है। लेकिन साथ ही साथ आप सभी के साथ बैठ करके एक विश्वास भी होता है कि क्या हम इस चैलेंज को एक अपॉर्चुनिटी के तौर पे ले सकते हैं क्या? प्लास्टिक हमारे जीवन के लिए जरूरी हो चला है। हम इसको अपने जीवन से बिल्कुल निकाल नहीं सकते। हो सकता है कि आगे आने वाले काल में इसका कोई सब्स्टिट्यूट हो जाए, लेकिन आज की तिथि में संभव नहीं लग रहा है अगले 10, 20, 30 वर्षों के लिए। तो जैसा कि सभी लोगों ने कहा कि यह इतनी बड़ी समस्या खड़ी हो चुकी है, तो क्या इस समस्या को हम एक अपॉर्चुनिटी के तौर पे देख सकते हैं क्या? और जब मिश्रा जी ने सुबह में मुझे अपने विभिन्न लैबों का भ्रमण कराया, पल्लवी के लैब सहित, तो मुझे ये विश्वास लगा कि हमारे पास इतना बड़ा स्पिरिचुअल मास है, आध्यात्मिक मास। आपने जो पुस्तक भी भेंट की आध्यात्मिक के ऊपर में, तो क्या हम स्पिरिचुअल इंटेलेक्चुअल मास जो है हमारा, क्या इस चैलेंज को अपॉर्चुनिटी के रूप में बदल पाने में कामयाब नहीं हो सकता है? दैट्स द क्वेश्चन व्हिच इज एक्चुअली बिफोर मी। ऑफ कोर्स द प्रॉब्लम इज वेरी लार्ज, दिस इज gigantic, but we have to understand one very basic fact. फिजिक्स में ना एक बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट वेरिएबल है मास, और मास जो है वो जब हम इकट्ठा करते हैं तो उसमें एक वेरिएबल जुड़ जाता है नंबर का, है ना? तो अगर किसी का किसी किसी आर्टिकल का मास 1 है, बट उसका नंबर जो है बिलियंस में है, तो उसका टोटल जो है साइज बड़ा हो जाता है। वही बात प्लास्टिक के साथ भी है। पूरी दुनिया में जो हम लगभग आई डोंट नो हाउ मेनी पीपल आर वी नाउ, 3 बिलियन, 4 बिलियन, इतने लोग हैं हम लोग जो इस प्रॉब्लम को पैदा कर रहे हैं, प्लास्टिक के प्रॉब्लम को। तो क्या इतने लोग मिलकर के उसको सुलझा नहीं सकते हैं? और मैं लास्ट संडे को कुछ लोगों के साथ बैठा हुआ था, कुछ समाज सुधारक, समाज विचारक लोग। उन लोगों ने बड़ा एक अच्छा अपना प्रयोग किया। अभी आप लोगों को पता होगा ना, कुछ दिन पहले कुंभ हुआ था, महाकुंभ कुंभ हुआ था। तो लोगों ने कहा कि 144 साल के बाद आया है तो महाकुंभ हो गया। हालांकि आई डोंट नो, 12 साल पहले भी बोला गया था कि वो महाकुंभ है, और अगले 12 साल के बाद भी बोला जाएगा कि कोई महाकुंभ आ गया, जो भी हो। बट लोकल अधिकारियों ने अनुमान किया है कि लगभग 40 करोड़ की जगह लगभग 66 करोड़ लोग वहां आए। 66 crores people came. And the question before these thinkers was that the gathering of these 66 crore people or 40 crore people which are expected is going to create a huge amount of pollution. Okay? मैंने भी सभी व्यवस्था कर पोल्यूशन के डर के मारे मैं गया ही नहीं। लेकिन उन लोगों ने बहुत सोच विचार किया, क्या किया जा सकता है। तो उनके दिमाग में भी एक बात आई कि अगर वहां 40 करोड़ लोग इकट्ठे हो रहे हैं और 40 करोड़ लोग अगर पोल्यूशन जनरेट कर रहे हैं, तो 40 करोड़ लोग उसको सॉल्व भी कर सकते हैं। ठीक है, तो उन्होंने एक कार्यक्रम चलाया, एक थाली एक थैला, या एक थैला एक थैली, एक थाली एक थैला, या एक थैला और एक थाली। और उस प्रोग्राम के तहत वो गांव गांव जाकर करके उन्होंने सभी से जो है चंदा लिया, डोनेशन। एक थैली, जूट की थैली या कपड़े की थैली, झोला जिसको बोलते हैं आप लोग अपने आम बोलचाल की भाषा में, और एक थाली, स्टील की थाली, मेटल की थाली, जो भी थाली हो। और इस तरह से उन लोगों ने 14 लाख थालियां इकट्ठी कर ली। और वो थालियां वो यूज करने वाले थे कुंभ में, क्योंकि अगर मान लीजिए वहां 40 करोड़ लोग पहुंच रहे हैं तो वो खाना भी खाएंगे। और जब खाना खाएंगे तो वो किस चीज में खाएंगे? डिस्पोजेबल प्लेट्स में। डिस्पोजेबल प्लेट्स में क्या होता है? प्लास्टिक्स होते हैं। तो उसका जो पोल्यूशन है, तो उन लोगों ने सोचा कि अगर डिस्पोजेबल प्लेट्स की जगह हम लोग थाली यूज करें तो हो सकता है कि कुछ पोल्यूशन लोड कम हो जाए। बहुत जायज सोचना था उनका, और उनकी चूंकि सोच बड़ी थी तो उन लोगों ने लगभग 14 लाख थालियां इकट्ठी कर ली। और उनका अनुमान था कि अगर प्रतिदिन ये 14 लाख थालियां वो 3 बार भी यूज होती है तो 42 लाख प्रतिदिन हो गया। 42 लाख डिस्पोजेबल प्लेट्स बचेंगे प्रतिदिन। और अगर कुंभ जो है 40 दिन चल रहा है तो 40 गुना 42 कितने? 16 करोड़ जो है डिस्पोजेबल प्लेट्स बच जाएंगे मिनिमम। इट्स अ बिग नंबर, इट्स अ बिग नंबर। Okay, so what they did, that but then the problem was that who will use them? Why the people will start using them? थाली को यूज करना इतना आसान काम तो नहीं है कि आपने थाली रख दी। तो उन लोगों ने क्या किया कि वो सबसे पहले गए, वो जो है वो नागा साधुओं के शिविर में। ठीक है, तो वो जो महामंडलेश्वर जी थे उन्होंने उनको कस के डांटा, भाग जाओ यहाँ से। हमारे साधु जो है वो जूठे में नहीं खाएंगे, वो तो थाली जब एक बार खा लिया वो जूठी हो गई। हाँ, वो तो पत्तल में ही खाएंगे जी, नहीं खा सकते वो। लेकिन ये जो है ये समाज के जो है चिंतक लोग थे, वो डटे रहे वहां पर, डांट खाते रहे डटे रहे, डांट खाते रहे डटे रहे। वो बोले दिन भर हम लोग डांट खाते रहे, लेकिन वहां डटे रहे, वहां से हिले नहीं, और उनको रिक्वेस्ट करते ही रहे। तो लास्ट में उन्होंने कहा कि ठीक है, ला करके थालियां रख दी हमारे जो है अखाड़े पे। अखाड़ा बोलते हैं वहां पर जहां पर नागा साधु रहते हैं। उसमें से कई उनके सेक्ट्स है, जिसमें कि एक जो सेक्ट था ये नागा साधुओं का, उसमें वो गए हुए थे। और महामंडलेश्वर जी ने जब उनको अनुमति दे दी तो उसके देखा देखी पूरा चल पड़ा। फिर वहां जो है 15,000 सिक्योरिटी पर्सनल थे, उनको बांट दी गई। सफाई कर्मचारी थे, उनको बांट दी गई थालियां। तो इस तरीके से उन लोगों ने 8,000 टन्स, ओके, रिकॉर्डेड प्लास्टिक पोल्यूशन वहां कम कर दिया। मेरा कहने का ये तात्पर्य है कि जब हम 140 करोड़ लोग हैं यहाँ पर भारत में ही सिर्फ, और पूरी दुनिया में लगभग 4 अरब लोग हैं, तो ये सब मिल करके क्या इन प्रॉब्लम्स को हम कैसे पहले तो कम कर सकते हैं, नंबर 1। और नंबर 2, हमारा जो इंटेलेक्चुअल कैपिटल है, उस इंटेलेक्चुअल कैपिटल की मदद से क्या हम ये जो मैं ये जो ग्राफ देख रहा हूं ना, लगभग 500 मिलियन टन तो हम पहुंच ही गए हैं अभी पूरे दुनिया में, और भगवान जाने 1.2 बिलियन टन होने वाला है 2060 तक, है ना। ये ये देखिए, ये तो जैसा बताया अभी आपने सब लोगों ने, छोटी छोटी चीजें प्रॉब्लम कम करने के लिए। ठीक है, उसको अपॉर्चुनिटी में कैसे बदला जाएगा इसके बारे में मैं थोड़ी देर के बाद आऊंगा। अब ये out of 180 billion bottles sold in 2016, 110 बिलियन जो है वो सिर्फ कोका कोला ने की है। ठीक है, अभी आप गांव गांव में जाएंगे तो आपको 100% साफ पानी मिले या ना मिले, लेकिन कोका कोला जरूर मिलेगा। कोका कोला और स्प्राइट की बोतल जरूर मिलेगी। इज इट पॉसिबल कि हम उसको चेंज कर सके? ठीक है, हम सभी इंटेलेक्चुअल लोग बैठे हुए हैं, आप कोका कोला पियो, कोई मना नहीं करता है, लेकिन आप कोका कोला प्लास्टिक की बोतल में ही क्यों पियोगे? और माइंड यू, जावेद अच्छे से बताएंगे, वो गाँव में कोई वो उसको कोल्ड चेन में तो रखते नहीं है, गर्मी में रखते हैं। ठीक है, और गर्मी में उस बॉटल का क्या होता होगा, पेट बॉटल का? How much of actually dangerous chemicals they might be emitting, because of which I was just talking, Arvind ji बता रहे थे कि the incidence of cancer is spreading in our country like anything, and the cost of health is enormous. आप ये सोचो कि वो जो कॉस्ट ऑफ हेल्थ है एक कैंसर पेशेंट पे, एवरेज आप सोच लो, आपके परिवार में, फ्रेंड सर्कल में कोई ना कोई तो कैंसर से पीड़ित होगा। आप उन लोगों से पूछना कि एक कैंसर पेशेंट पर हेल्थ कॉस्ट क्या आता है, और अगर वो हेल्थ कॉस्ट कम हो करके उसको हम अपने पढ़ाई में, उसको हम अपने जो है वो अपने मानव विकास में लगा देते हैं, तो कितना फायदा हो सकता है। ठीक है, तो हमें ये सोचना होगा कि हम इन चीजों को उपयोग को कैसे कम कर सकते हैं। एक बड़ा सिंपल एग्जाम्पल हम दे रहे हैं आपको। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आप देखिए यहाँ पर ग्लास में पानी रखा हुआ है सामने, हम लोग के टेबल के सामने। हम लोग शायद पूरा एक गिलास पानी नहीं पिएंगे, है ना? जब हम लोग उठेंगे तो आप लोग देख लीजिएगा, वो एक गिलास पानी हम लोग पूरा नहीं पिएंगे। मतलब कि उसमें कुछ पानी बच जाएगा, और वो पानी क्या होगा, तो पानी फेंक दिया जाएगा। अपने देश में पानी के पीने की कमी है ना? तो अगर हमारे देश में पानी पीने की कमी है और हम 140 करोड़ लोग आधा ग्लास पानी भी दिन में वेस्ट करते हैं, तो हमने 70 करोड़ लीटर पानी वेस्ट कर दिया। ठीक है, तो इसीलिए जो भारत सरकार ने अभी एक अपनी जो लाइफ स्कीम चलाई है, जिसमें कि प्रधानमंत्री जी बार बार जोर दे रहे हैं कि रिसाइकल, रीयूज एंड रिड्यूस, वो हमारे लिए बहुत जरूरी है। प्रॉब्लम को हम कम कर सके, उस प्रॉब्लम को कम करने के लिए हमें विचार करना होगा, और आप सभी इंटेलेक्चुअल लोग बैठे हुए हैं। ठीक है ना? ये जरूरी नहीं है कि जो है वो बहुत बड़े कोई साइंटिस्ट है, वो अरविंद जी या मैं ही जो है वो, चूंकि वो डायरेक्टर है और मैं चीफ पॉलिसी एडवाइजर हूं, तो मैं ही सोल्यूशन निकाल सकता हूं। ये सोल्यूशन एक बच्चा भी निकाल सकता है। आप सभी को इस पर सोचना होगा, नंबर 1। ठीक है, कि हम उपयोग को कैसे कम कर सके। दूसरा जो है, आप ये देख ही रहे एनीवे, भारत बहुत प्रभावित है, लेकिन इसके साथ साथ दूसरा ये भी तथ्य है कि प्लास्टिक पोल्यूशन पर रिसर्च भी बहुत हो रहा है। ये नंबर ऑफ रिसर्च आर्टिकल्स है, और इसमें भारत बहुत पीछे नहीं है। चाइना एंड यूएस बहुत आगे है हमसे, बट भारत भी बहुत पीछे नहीं है। मतलब कि दुनिया के तमाम जो देश है, देखो आप, ये जो नीले नीले रंग वाले हैं, वो सभी गहन रिसर्च कर रहे हैं इस पे। ठीक है, लेकिन गहन रिसर्च जो है वो रेलेवेंट होनी चाहिए, सबसे जो बड़ी बात है। ठीक है, आपका जो ये इंस्टीट्यूट है, वो इंस्टीट्यूट है CSIR का इंस्टीट्यूट, ये काउंसिल ऑफ साइंटिफिक एंड इंडस्ट्रियल रिसर्च है। तो साइंटिफिक रिसर्च और इंडस्ट्रियल रिसर्च में थोड़ा सा फर्क होता है, बट वो फर्क जो है, इंडस्ट्रियल रिसर्च जो है, वो रिसर्च इन सब चीजों को, खास करके वो जो आज की डेट में प्रॉब्लम्स है, उनको अपॉर्चुनिटी के रूप में बदलने में बहुत मदद कर सकता है। उदाहरण के तौर पर, मैं आपका बहुत समय नहीं लूंगा, उदाहरण के तौर पे मैं 3 संकेत करूंगा कि 3 पाथवेज क्या रिसर्च के हो सकते हैं यहाँ पर इस इंस्टीट्यूट के लिए with respect to plastics. Number one, I don't know how far it will be feasible, how far it is opportunistic, how far it will be beneficial. It's a matter of research because we don't have data. We don't have empirical evidence whether it's feasible or not. The first is whether rather than using those plastics as landfills, can we use them for mine reclamation? Is it possible? Okay, without destroying the environment, without destroying aquifers, can we develop some technology through which we could use plastics waste, plastic waste? I'm not talking of original plastic waste in mine reclamation without harming the environment. That's number one. Number two is that mining per se does not generate too much of plastic waste. That's a very good thing. But can we use recycled plastics in production of manufacturing of mining equipment? That's number two. And number three, which is already feasible, okay, but how do we actually evolve that to industrial scale? That's how could we use plastic waste as fuel? After all, the component is the same. This is a hydrocarbon. Okay? So how can we use that? So these are the three pathways through which very concerted research action could be taken, paving the way for use of plastics in a plastic waste, plastic waste in a much more meaningful manner. And that could be one of the key, I would say, pledge you can take today on this World Environment Day, which is talking about beat the plastics. Okay. You are all intellectuals. You are all very well educated. You are all very enthusiastic people. A lot of you are very young people who have the whole life to lead. We have like finished the 3/4 of our life, me and Mishraji. So perhaps we will be facing this problem only to the extent of 20% or 30%. But for you, the problem will become more and more. So please think over that and see how you can reduce. Number one, very simple things, and spread the message. Okay, do not ever think that what you are doing could be alone. You will be alone. If you start doing, your family will start following. Then your friends of the family, your schoolmates, your classmates, your colleagues, and the number will grow. One good example will always be replicated. Okay, like ये जो महाकुंभ में अभी जो थाली वाला शुरू हुआ है ना, ये अब रह जाएगा, ये खत्म नहीं होने वाला, ठीक है, और ये बढ़ता जाएगा, ठीक है। तो हमारा जो सर्किल जो है ना, जिसको हम बोलते हैं सर्किल ऑफ वर्च्यू, वो एक ह्यूमन साइकोलॉजी है कि हमेशा जो है वो सर्किल ऑफ वर्च्यू को बढ़ाती है, ठीक है। तो हम उस शक्ति का उपयोग करें, उस सर्किल ऑफ वर्च्यू को बढ़ाएं, नंबर वन। और नंबर टू जो है, अपने विवेक, अपने बुद्धि और अपने अध्यात्म का प्रयोग करते हुए हम ऐसे उपाय ढूंढने की कोशिश करें कि वो जो प्लास्टिक जिसको हम आज वेस्ट बोल रहे हैं, वो वेस्ट नहीं हो करके हमारे किसी अन्य उत्पादन के साधन का वो एक रॉ मटेरियल बन सके। इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ मैं अपना आपके साथ संभाषण अंत करना चाहूंगा। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
Thank you so much, sir, for your thoughtful words and for sharing your wisdom with all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, can we please have a loud round of applause? Your insights have truly enriched this celebration, sir, and has given us a sense of renewed purpose. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we move to another joyous part of the celebration, which is the prize distribution. As a part of the World Environment Day 2025, we conducted a series of competitions earlier today on essay writing, quiz competition, and oral presentations by the research scholars. And also, we had students from universities who participated in quiz, and also children from schools who participated in essay writing. So now we move towards the prize distribution. But before we go to the prize distribution session, I would like to remind all of you that we have set up a selfie booth for us to capture your memories of the World Environment Day 2025. We invite everyone to visit and maybe create photos and keep memories of this celebration. And we also encourage all the attendees to sign the pledge. It's a simple act which will reinforce your shared commitment to reducing plastic use and protecting the environment. On this note, we begin the prize distribution. I'll just get the list from the organizers and we'll start with the prize distribution. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we begin with the prize distribution. I request all the dignitaries to kindly grace the front part of the dais. And we start with the essay writing competition. So all the attendees, please pay attention. As I call out your name, kindly come to the dais to receive your prize. And I request the volunteers to also pay a little bit attention. So I'll be calling out the list of winners, different competition wise. So kindly come with the trophy. Thank you very much. So we start with the essay writing competition. First winner, first prize goes to Mr. Aryan Kumar. He is the son of Mr. Pappu Ravidas. को बुलाया Next, second prize goes to Mr. Jayesh Kumar Ahirwal. Congratulations. He's the son of Dr. Ahirwal, sir. The third prize goes to Miss Ashi. Miss Ashi, she's there. Next, we come to the winners for the quiz competitions. There were quite a few groups, so I'm sure all of you are waiting with bated breath. The first prize for the quiz competition goes to Group 1, where the students were Mr. Suraj Kumar, Muhammad Shoaib Khan, Muhammad Syed Zaki Hassan Rizvi, and Mr. Sonu Mandal. All of you, kindly come to the dais. At the second place, we have a tie between Group 2 and Group 5. In Group 2, we had Miss Nancy Prasad, Miss Bulbul Kumari, Miss Kalyani Kumari. And in Group 5, we had Miss Vinita Roy, Miss Indrani Haldar, and Miss Rupsha Ghoshal. So team Groups 2 and Group 5, kindly collect your prizes, and you're the joint second position holders. At the second prize, we have joint. And in third position, we have Group 3. The members consist of Miss Simbul Murtaja, Miss Shushma Changam, and Mr. Pradeep Kumar Mandal. Please come up to the dais quickly. So we had joint winners for second, for Group 2 and Group 5, and this is the third position. Now we move to the oral presentations. Oral presentation, we have again first, second, and in the third position, we again have joint winners. Yes. Second prize, we have a joint winner for the quiz competition, right? थोड़ी अच्छी. Next, we move to the oral presentation. So on the first position, we have Miss Shikha Patra. Shikha, please quickly come up to the dais. Miss Shikha, quickly, come quickly. And in the second position, we have Miss Shoda Mini. You are Miss Shikha, come quickly. Then second position, Miss Shoda Mini, please be ready. So Miss Shodamini, she was also one of our volunteers today, and also she's a very, very sincere student, and she is receiving the second prize. Congratulations. On the third position, we have joint winners, Ms. Sazia Parveen and Mr. Nitish Kumar. Sazia and Nitish, quickly come up to the dais. So Mr. Nitish is also shortly joining Coal India Limited as a management trainee. Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, can I have a loud round of applause for all the winners and all the participants? Last but not the least, we have some special prizes for the audience. Last but not the least, we have some special prizes for the audience from the earlier quiz competition in the morning. So they were also students and very enthusiastically, they also came up with a lot of good answers. So we have a few prizes for the audience as well. I mean, they're also students who came earlier this morning. And the first goes to Mr. Sumit. I mean, they're all the same. Mr. Sumit, Miss Ananya, Mr. Dheeraj Singh, Miss Saloni, Mr. Aditya Singh. Quickly come to the dais to receive your prizes. Good job, everyone. Can I have a loud round of applause for them as well? Some of them are pursuing their PhDs and some of them are working with us for the dissertations. Sumit, Ananya, Dheeraj, Saloni, and Aditya. Now, before we end this, let us move to the next segment, which is felicitation of the jury members who have spared their time to evaluate um, all the different competitions. So I kindly request Dr. Prabhat Mandal, sir, the jury member in the quiz competition. He's also heading the mining department. Dr. MP Roy, sir. Dr. Mastro, sir, Reginald E. Mastro, sir. Dr. D. Mohanty, sir. And Dr. S.K. Roy, sir, to please come to the dais. We are so grateful for your support and for the time that you've taken us to painstakingly evaluate all the competitions. Thank you very much. Sanjay Roy, sir. Thank you, sir. That's all. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir, to all of you. Felicitation, a felicitation. As a gesture of our deep respect and gratitude, may I now request our director, sir, Professor A.K. Mishra, to felicitate our guests. I request the volunteers to kindly come up with the shawl and a memento. We are deeply grateful for the time that you've taken out to grace today's occasion. At first, to our chief guest, Dr. Sanjay Kumar, sir. Next, I request Director Sir to kindly felicitate our guest of honor, Shri Vikas Paliwal, sir. Thank you so much, sir. And last but not the least, I request Director Sir to felicitate Professor Javed. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir. We are really indebted to all of you. May I now kindly request Dr. Siddharth Singh, sir, Chief Scientist and Head Natural Resource Management, to deliver the vote of thanks, expressing our collective gratitude to all the dignitaries, participants, and contributors.
Thank you, Pallavi. Good evening, everyone. It is indeed an honor for me to deliver the vote of thanks on behalf of the organizing team of today's World Environment Day celebration at CSIR-CIMFR. अतिथि देवो भव की अवधारणा के साथ का अनुपालन करते हुए मैं अपना वोट ऑफ थैंक्स ये जो आरंभ करता हूं तो सर्वप्रथम I would like to extend our deepest gratitude to our chief guest Dr. Sanjay Kumar, former Director General of Forest, for joining us today and sharing his insightful thoughts on the importance of the day. Sir, we are mesmerized by your thoughts, your expressions you have delivered here since morning, since after 11 a.m. we are listening you, and I'm really very thankful to Director Sir that he has invited such a luminary, such a inspiring person to our institute. Sir, we are very thankful to you for your thoughts, for your words, for your opinions, whatever you given us for the discussion. And really, it is astonishing to know that somebody who in this on this diet who has given 16 hours of Viva for free PhD. This is, sir, really we are not thinking. Nobody of our amongst us has given 16-hour Viva for PhD. So you have given at Cambridge. So again, may I request you all to give a big long round of applause for him. Sir, 16 hour. And now to the guest of honors, Sri Vikas Paliwal sir, District Forest Officer Dhanbad, for his kind presence and meaningful thoughts on caring for and protecting the environment. Our heartfelt thanks to Professor Javed Iqbal from BIT Mesra, who delivered his very good lecture, a very knowledgeful and very he has introduced us. I think as far as I know, he has published the first paper in this region, Coalfield region, and this from Dhanbad, Ranchi, and all this Chota Nagpur Plateau on microplastics and plastic pollution. So, and I'm really thankful to you that we are empty-handed the day before the function. Our chief speaker has due to some reason he was not able to come, and you accepted at the 11th hour, knowing that all the things. So I'm really very thankful to you, sir. Special thanks and sincere thanks to the leader, our team leader, our mentor, Director CSIR-Central for his inspiring welcome address and continuous support, sir. You have thought the problem. You have really provoked us to do something good and at least organize this event. See, it was not we are not able to organize this properly since last few years. Last year we started, and this year we have raised the level. And certainly, sir, with your inspiration, we will try to do better and better in the future. We are extremely grateful to all school, college, and university students and the research scholars, project staff, and dissertation students who took part enthusiastically in the various competitions. Your participation gave great meaning and energy to the celebration. Our sincere thanks to the HRD cell section, civil section, IT section, finance section, security officer, and canteen personnel whose behind the scene efforts ensured everything ran smoothly. Special word of appreciation for the media and documentation team who diligently captured today's moment, helping us preserve and share the spirit of the occasion. We also expand our gratitude to all the faculty members, evaluator, guests, and volunteers, and of course the committee organizing team from the environment departments, both the environment departments, for their tireless work and coordinations. To all the attendees, supports, and well-wishers who joined us in celebrating World Environment Day, your presence and encouragement made this event truly meaningful. So let us carry forward of today's message beyond this event and contribute every day to nurturing and protecting our environment. So thanks one again. Thanks to Pallavi. And with this, we invite everyone to join us for the tree plantation ceremony. Before that, I think national anthem. Yeah, we after national anthem, we will go there. For, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for presenting the word of thanks. आप सभी से आग्रह है कृपया राष्ट्रगान ओके आफ्टर दिस विल डू आप सभी से आग्रह है कृपया राष्ट्रगान के सम्मान हेतु खड़े हो जाए ऑल आर रिक्वेस्टेड टू राइज इन रिस्पेक्ट ऑफ द इंडियन नेशनल एंथम We now request all the dignitaries and all the attendees to kindly proceed to the tree plantation ceremony in front of the main building near the pond. And also I request all the attendees, including all the HORGs, to please sign the pledge. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.